Hi, my name is Sylvie. I help women feel great and lose weight through fasting and whole nutrition. In today's video, we are going to talk about, do women need to fast differently than men? And I'm going to lay out a step-by-step protocol that you can follow if you notice that fasting causes some negative side effects like hair loss, low sex drive, maybe even the interruption of your cycles. I do want to emphasize that fasting will not necessarily affect all women, and I don't notice any difference between the different times in my cycle and how my body reacts to fasting. So it's a very individual thing, and you'll have to pay attention, listen to your body, and see what's happening. It's like everything else that relates to your health. You need to do your own research. You need to do your own experimentation. There is never a white and black answer, or very rarely anyway. Also, before I share the exact protocol that you can follow if you are worried about how fasting may affect your hormones, or if you have been experiencing some of the negative consequences that can be attributed to fasting, I want to go through quickly the benefits of fasting. I want to make sure that you start understanding how good fasting can be for your body, and that'll give you the motivation to keep going and to keep experimenting. One of the main benefits of fasting is increased insulin sensitivity. Increased insulin sensitivity means that your body handles glucose better and your insulin level remains more stable, which contributes to better sleep, better mood, and more energy. Also, fasting will cause ketone production. If you fast long enough and frequently enough, your body will start going in and out of ketosis. And that's if you are not eating keto. If you are eating keto, obviously you'll continue to be in ketosis, even when you're not fasting. And when your body uses ketones for energy, you'll notice that your appetite decreases, you have more energy, and you are able to focus better. And on top of that, ketone metabolism helps decrease inflammation. Another benefit of fasting is metabolic flexibility. Metabolic flexibility means that your body is able to use any source of energy that's available. It might use glucose, which is sugar, stored sugar, which is glycogen. It might use dietary fat or ketones. And that will be a huge win to start experiencing real food freedom, because you'll start noticing that you become free of food cravings and you can go longer between meals. Also, fasting can increase your metabolism. Intermittent fasting increases your levels of norepinephrine, which increases your metabolism. And then there's also weight loss. All the benefits I just mentioned will contribute to weight loss. Or if you're already at your healthy weight, you'll be able to maintain your weight. There's also increased longevity. Many animal studies demonstrate that fasting and calorie restriction may increase longevity. Who doesn't want to live a longer and healthier life? And on top of everything else, fasting will help improve your immune function. Intermittent fasting may induce your body to clean out the old immune cells and replace them with newer ones. So are you convinced yet? Do you see how fasting and intermittent fasting can help you achieve pretty much any health goal? It's an amazing tool, it's free, and it's definitely worth trying to make it work for you. And I'm gonna show you how. And it is true that sometimes women do need to fast differently than men, and that's what we're going to talk about now. I'm going to share a protocol that you can follow to help stabilize your hormones if that has been an issue for you. The protocol is something that I've learned from Dr. Mindy. Dr. Mindy is the fasting expert, and she has lots of great resources. Keep watching to learn exactly what you need to do. It doesn't matter if you are premenopausal, perimenopausal, or postmenopausal. There is a way that you can practice fasting while taking care of your hormonal health. Let's start with premenopausal women. If you are a premenopausal woman, you can look at your cycle to decide when and how you're going to fast. Calorie restriction and fasting can stress your body enough to cause hormonal imbalances that will cause your cycles to stop. So it's important to make sure that you eat enough calories. For one, I would aim to get a calorie deficit of around 500 calories a day, no more. Also make sure that you consume nutrient-dense foods that will nourish your body and sustain a healthy hormonal function. I enjoy having a green superfood shake every day to make sure I get all the nutrients I need on top of eating a very clean whole food diet every day. My green superfood shake is rich in vitamin A, thiamine, iron, niacin, and manganese. It also provides tons of vitamin D and iodine, which are essential to support your thyroid function. If you check in the description below, I'll provide a link where you can go check it out, and this link will give you a $50 coupon. So I highly recommend you go and check it out. The protocol I am going to lay out for you is assuming that your cycle is 28 days long. If you are not sure how long your cycle is, I recommend, and even if you know your cycles, I enjoy using an app to track my cycles. It's always good to see if anything changes from 1 month to the next. It's a good idea to track your cycles. So if you haven't done that already, download an app on your phone and start tracking your cycles. Now, if your cycles are 28 days long, what you need to do is you can fast any way you want from day 1 to day 12, and then starting on day 12, so day 13 and 14, around there, the estrogen production needs to rise to promote ovulation. And to encourage estrogen production, you need more insulin, you need more carbs. And so what you can do is eat more carbs. You can increase your carb consumption to around 150 to 200 grams. So that's still a moderate carb intake. Doesn't mean you need to eat tons of carbs, but you need to make sure you eat enough. And you can focus on healthy carbs like squash, beans, fruits, and whole grains if your body handles them well. And after that, you can do whatever you want again with fasting. And then on day 21 or so, your body will start producing more progesterone. And again, to support this progesterone production, you'll need to eat more carbs. So go back to making sure you eat a sufficient amount of carbs. And you know what? I think that's probably one of the reasons that I haven't noticed a difference between how my body reacts to fasting throughout my cycle. I'm always eating a moderate amount of carbs. I'm never keto, and that's probably why. But if you try to eat less carbs, if you're low carb or keto, you can try this. You might find that helpful to make sure that you are not missing your cycles, you're not experiencing hair loss or low sex drive. Now, if you're a perimenopausal woman and your cycles are all over the place, and so you don't know when to eat more carbs to support your hormonal function, what you can do is start with a 7-day period of eating more carbs and see what happens. That might just be enough to start your cycles again, and then you can start tracking the same way you would if you were premenopausal. If your period does not come back doing the 7-day moderate carb protocol, then you can just do the 28-day protocol that I just outlined for premenopausal women. Start day 1 today or anytime you want, and just pretend that you're following your cycles, but just follow that protocol even though it doesn't really apply to your real cycles, and then see what happens. That might help ease any symptoms that you may be experiencing. During perimenopause, your ovaries are shutting down, and after menopause, many women struggle with thinning hair and dry skin, belly fat, anxiety, insomnia, and you want to make sure that fasting doesn't make these worse. So again, the best course of action would be to follow the 28-day protocol. So obviously, this 28-day protocol applies to women who prefer eating keto or low carb. but you don't need to eat keto or low carb when you are intermittent fasting. I know many of you prefer to do so, and that's fine, and that's why I created this video. Or otherwise, always eat between 100 and 200 grams of carbs a day, and then you won't have to worry about it. It is true that women are more sensitive to fasting, and they do need to fast differently than men. It's a good idea to learn how to adapt fasting to your body and to your own needs. And I hope this video helped you do just that. If you enjoy learning about fasting and you want more great videos about fasting in general and intermittent fasting, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.